We call this Nick versus Ivan,
or efficient versus expensive. Hi, I'm Ivan.
I'm Nick.
This is DIY Detail. Today we're going to explore an expensive way of doing it and an efficient way of doing it with iron remover.
If you're like me, you like to go to Spray Town. You just spray everywhere. You use the product because you spent your hard-earned money on it and you want to enjoy it.
Exactly. For me, I want to get the most out of my products and I want the best quality job. Now, in the world of detailing, iron removers have traditionally been used by spray it on the vehicle, let it sit for a long time, see all those red streaks coming down, let it dwell, rinse it off. And then clay, and then see your results. What we're going to be doing here is on Nick's side, he's going to spray to his heart's content with iron remover. On my side, I'm just going to spray a little bit on the towel and do a mechanical and chemical decontamination at the same time. Now, we've already washed this vehicle in another video, description down below. You can see it there. And I'm just going to add rinseless wash to the surface as if we're doing a rinseless wash to get that lubrication. But the contact wash is already done on this one. It's good to go.
Yeah, we always rinseless wash or Incredible Suds, do the contact wash, and then leave that soap on the surface or the rinseless wash on the surface as our bed of lubrication before we use the decontamination towel, before we use iron remover, and that's sort of what we're setting up here. Again, as that foundation of lubrication for our system, which doesn't involve a clay bar, it involves a decontamination towel to shave off those embedded contaminants.
Right. So I'm going to let you spray your side, but keep it off my side.
I can't wait. Ivan's giving me the green light. Now, the more you use, the better job it does. That's my motto. So I'm just going to kind of make sure. I probably need to paint that a little bit. Oh yeah, there it is. I'm just waiting for you to tell me to stop.
That's probably enough there, Nick. You use half a bottle. Yeah.
All right. That's a little superstitious thing I do sometimes when I...
So while Nick has done that, he's used countless sprays. Well...
Okay, but it's working. You see the purple bleeding?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm going to use one spray on the towel, one spray on the panel. Start agitating with the towel.
So you're going right at it?
Yeah.
What's the difference in terms of what's happening here?
So what I'm doing is I'm actually removing the little piece of metal that causes the rust stain. And what we're actually dealing with here, we call it iron remover, and that's an industry misnomer. It's a misinformation, we could put it that way. Because what's happening is this actually isn't removing iron. If you were to take a piece of rusty iron and put it in here, the iron doesn't disappear. The rust on the piece of iron will disappear.
What happens to the rust?
Well, that's where the chemical comes in. It breaks down the rust.
Okay.
And converts it to those little red streaks that you see.
Oh, I gotcha.
Now,
so these red streaks are converted rust.
Yeah.
But the contaminant is still there.
The iron is still there. So on my side, it's clayed. It's going to be super smooth when I'm done, which I am.
Is that just one spray you used on the towel and one on the paint?
One up here, one down there. So 4 sprays total.
Okay. And if you're counting at home, how many sprays did I use?
Yeah, so rewind, count how many sprays you used. So Nick, as this dwells, let me explain a little bit further what's happening here. This is the traditional way of doing it. You spray it on, you let it sit, and you want to let it go till it's almost dry. So you don't want it drying on the surface. It's not going to damage the surface, but it's more effective as it's wet. If the iron remover dries, it's no longer working. So there's no point in leaving it there once it starts drying. It hasn't started drying yet. On this side, we barely see any of those little red streaks. There's the odd one here and there. There's not many of them, because we've actually removed a lot of that contamination. On your side, the contamination is still there. It still feels like sandpaper, but you have a lot more iron or a lot more rust to convert since you didn't mechanically remove it.
Shall I spray it off?
Yeah, now it's starting to dry. Give it a spray.
Both sides, yeah?
Yep.
Okay, now what?
We'll let the bit of this water go away. There's not much beading on this vehicle. We'll let some of it go down, and then we'll spray again. But now we're going to spray evenly on both sides. So I'll do the spraying. That way we don't have an excessive amount, but just enough to do the job. Then we'll see red streaks on both sides. It's not guaranteed that either method removes everything. So I can see a few little odd red streaks on my side, but a lot more on yours. And you can see where I didn't get close enough to the license plate here. But if you look at this side, yes, there's still contamination there. And iron contamination, you're not removing all of it. You're getting the majority of it off. To get all of it off, you're going to need multiple passes, especially a vehicle like this that hasn't seen iron remover since it left the factory.
Okay, now I'm seeing a lot more purple on this side. And a little bit here.
There's a little bit, but definitely not as much as that side. So Nick, you used, we don't know how many sprays. We'll say, I'll be conservative here, I'll say 30 sprays. I used 4. This is the most expensive chemical other than a ceramic coating that we have. And most companies, it's the same way. The iron remover is an expensive chemical. So at this point, we see what's happened here. Now, do it like that. So you can still feel the contamination that was there.
Yeah, but it's smoothing out real quick.
Yeah.
No pressure on the towel. Just gliding it over the paint.
Yep.
Of course, all these purple streaks get me thinking how much work I have to do here. It feels so smooth now, Ivan.
Exactly.
Am I doing your side as well? Or are we doing a comparison?
Nope. We'll just rinse that off.
Okay. Just my side.
Yep.
Okay.
We'll rinse both sides off, and then we'll spray this again.
All right. We're just trying stuff here, folks. We're learning, or we're showing what we're learning.
Again, we'll let the excess moisture drop off of here for a second. And a lot of people, they'll spray the iron remover on a dry surface. Now, I prefer to have a clean surface that we've gone over either with rinseless wash, incredible suds, so the iron remover doesn't have to compete with the dirt. It's just going after what it's designed to go after. So let's take a look now. And at this point, both sides should be relatively clean. So we're seeing a little showing up here and a little showing up there. So in the end, it works out to be the same quality of job, but my side, I used a lot less product and I spent a lot less time because I did both in one step.
So I guess the message here is you just don't need to use as much iron remover as you think.
No, don't use as much iron remover. Make sure the vehicle is actually clean before you use the iron remover. I've seen detailers, they'll take a dry car that just drove into their shop, or they're a mobile detailer, they just show up to the customers, and the first thing they do is spray on iron remover. Well, that's not an efficient use of the product because the iron remover isn't great at breaking down dirt. It's not good at breaking down traffic film. You want to do your contact wash first. And then once you've done your contact wash, go from there. So there we have it, Nick. Again, we're trying to save you time. We're trying to save you expenses, and we're trying to make detailing fun and more efficient for you. With that, what other video should they be looking at?
Look, if you want to know more about how this decontamination towel works, it's a modern marvel of science or something. Yeah, it works great. If you want to know more about it, video right here.